Hello class, happy week 7. You know what that means? Well, two things. We are officially 50% done with the course. Only one more half to go. The easy half, right? That means we're also at week 7. So we have our midterm exam. So before you get all freaked out that we have a midterm exam, just let me assuage your worries with that. A, it's only 17 questions, okay? So it's not bad at all. B, you've got a study guide posted in this week's content section. I suggest you skim over it. And then definitely look at all the previous homework assignments and quizzes because some of the questions will be very familiar in that regard. But I can tell you some focal areas, concepts, vocabulary that you should know. You should know what a DF or degrees of freedom is. You know, basically how you get that. 1 minus the sample size. The types of data that we often, or types of numbers. So that's the basic stuff in terms of qualitative data versus quantitative data, discrete versus continuous scales and the combinations thereof. We covered some basic descriptive statistics, so our measures of central tendency, standard deviation, variance, those sorts of things. That coefficient of variation, it's just the standard deviation divided by the mean. There's one Excel-based item in there. I don't know why it's still in there, but it asks about Excel array functions, and we actually don't use that language at all. Just so you know, two things. When it's talking about Excel array functions, they are not separated by semicolons, and the equal count function is not an array function. So if you know those two facts, you'll be fine. You're given a data sheet to do some frequencies, and you've learned how to do that in terms of bins. There's a good chunk of probability questions on there, so you have to know things like the probability rules and laws and sample space. There's a couple questions on there about the 68, 95, 97 rule. You should know what those are in terms of the number of standard deviations and the percents they represent. And then confidence intervals, very easy. That was this past week, so you've got some handy-dandy tutorials and templates to help you out with that. Key piece there, knowing how to interpret the confidence interval is important. And lastly, the z-score transformation formula. So that's just the raw score minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. Okay, so that's it. That should be a tremendous help for you, so don't wig out. It's just the midterm exam. You'll do fine. You've been doing great so far, so that's it. Any questions? Just ask, and let's have a great week.